I want to distinguish two situations. Design for real experiments and design for numerical experiments. So design for real experiments is a very old science which comes from Fisher 1 century ago. Little problem here. From Fisher's 1 century ago, and after researchers as Box, Taguchi in the Japanese, in Japan, etc. The idea is to choose the experiments for physical or chemical experiments, and basically all the techniques are concentrated on the problem of estimated parameters of a linear regression or of a polynomial regression with a minimal number of points. So in this kind of techniques, they propose the complete theory of factorial design. Maybe some of you know this theory of fractional factorial design, etc. I will not talk this about today, but this is an important issue. The idea is to place the points on some level of each parameters and to choose the combination of the levels of each parameters. And after, the idea is to reduce the combinations, but to keep good statistical properties to estimate the coefficients of linear regression or polynomial regressions. There is a few differences between this case, when you have real experiments, and then when you have numerical experiments. Numerical experiments means what I talk. This is the fact that we run a computer code. So first, the most important is that we have some deterministic experiment in this world. And here we have no deterministic experiment. There is also the presence of an error when you make a real experiment. You have an error, which can be large, which can be small, but you have an error. Here, so we don't have any error. When you run the same code with the same inputs, 2 times, you have exactly the same results, more or less. Okay, so this is a fundamental difference. So it means that it's useless to make the same experiments 2 times at the same locations. In this case, it's useful. It's useful in order to infer the error, the measurement error. It's useful to put some repetitions on the same locations. In this case, it's useless. Second, when we deal with computer code, it's easy to have a very large number of input variables, because it's easy to change something in a file. However, in the real world, it can be difficult to control many parameters when you make some physical experiments. You can also test a very large round of input variation domain between 0 degree, for example, and 300 degree. There is no problem. In the real world, it's more complicated to make such a variation of temperature. And so it's more easy. So you have a trend here, a tendency to make very complex things. And so the model that you explore, in fact, is complex because you put a lot of parameters, you take large round of input variation domains, so it becomes complex. And so all the linear models that are used here are often inefficient here in this. So here, researcher from the 70s, so I think this topic has started in the 70s from Los Alamos, when when they have begun to make simulation experiments of their system. In operational research also, in the 70s. And the topic is called numerical design of experiments, and we will deal with what we call space-filling design. Space-filling design means that we want to have a good coverage of the input space with a few points. So in this lecture, I have two parts, but I will pass the first part, which is all the theory of factorial designs, in order to concentrate on the second part, which is the design for numerical experiments. Okay, so I repeat. My objective is to discover what happens inside the model, and I want to respect the following constraints. I want to spread the points over the input space in order to capture what happens. And I want to ensure that this input space coverage is robust with respect to dimensional reduction. So this is what I have explained with my few square just before. Spread the points and robust with respect to dimensional reductions. I will explain this. Alors, how to define the best coverage? So there are two possible criteria here. You can consider distance between the points, or some distance between distance inside the input space, and you can consider uniformity criteria in a probabilistic sense. This is called discrepancy measures. Okay? Alors, on y va. So geometrical criteria. So the one of, finally, if you think about this problem, the problem is to have, excuse me, I come back, to discover what happens inside the model, to have a best coverage of the input space. So maybe what we really want is that no non-tested points is very far from a tested point. A non-tested point is a point which is outside my design, and a tested point is a point which is inside my design. My design is a combination of my points, I repeat. Okay? So maybe that I want to have the Graal. The best thing is that some points in the domain, I don't know where any point in the domain is not very far, is not very far than a point in the design. Is it clear what I say? Okay. So to define this, I have to define some distance. For example, the first distance is the distance between one point of the domain and one point of the design. So this D. D is the distance between X, one point of the domain, and DMI, which is my design. And I will look for the point which corresponds to the maximal distance between this point and one point of the design. So I look for a point which is far from one point of the design. So for example, in this case, so no, excuse me, I will take, in this case, which is the point which is very far from one point of the design. So maybe here. Here I have a point which has a distance this from its closest points of the design, you see? If I take these points, if I take these points, the distance is this, because this is the closest point of the design. And so now I look the point in the domain which is the farthest of the point of the design. So this one. Okay? So this is to explain what I do when I do this. I maximize the distance between any any point of the design and the design. And the minimax design, which is the best design with respect to this criterion, is the design which minimizes this maximal distance. Okay, so it's rather tricky. Just respire. Min on the design and max on the distance. So I look for the design which minimize this maximal distance. Okay? It's clear? More or less? So this has been proposed by some authors in the 90s. But there is a big problem with this kind of construction, is that in practice it's impossible to build this kind of things. Why? Because you have to test all the points of the domain. And of course, in practice, to consider some points of the domain, we will make some discretization, so maybe a fine discretization. And after, you have to test all the points to find its closest point of the design. And after, you have to maximize this, to minimize on the design. So it's an impossible problem. It can work in dimension 2, when you have 2 inputs. But in dimension 3, it becomes very expensive, and after, it's impossible. So too expensive to find. So just to finish with this thing, in one dimension, the minimax design corresponds to this. Okay, so imagine I take 3 points. I take 3 points. So here I have 1 by 6. So x1 is 1 by 6. x2 is 1 by 2. And x3 is 5 by 6. Okay, so I don't have dashboard, but so you see. Excuse me. Do you think I can have a dashboard to